Hi, my name is Gary Kaplan. I'm the Vice President of Medical Affairs Research for Clinical Score. And I'm very excited. Today is our kickoff for a series of chats about medical affairs research, about our methodology, about our Partner of Choice program. Essentially, it is a primary research program that enables medical affairs groups throughout the country to help assess their science liaison to maximize their impact with KOLs. Now, this has been a process. This isn't something that happened one day. It has been a long journey, and this morning I want to discuss a little bit about the journey and how we've gotten to where we've gotten today. Initially, of course, and I'm going to use the left-hand board to start out because initially this was the dark ages in research. We started out with a customer satisfaction program. It was very simple. We contacted KOLs and asked them to rate their MSLs on a 10-point scale relative to how satisfied they were. It was a good program. It gave the medical affairs departments some information, but it was very minor and very meager. There was no in-depth analysis in terms of the whys. So we started to do some additional qualitative research. And what we found was that there were 13 categories that made up the important categories and how KOLs view their medical science liaison. They range from the medical knowledge of the MSL to the level of bias in the information presented to the customer support programs offered by the MSL and their companies. And what we found in doing some MaxDiff work to develop the importance is that we got a rank ordering of the importance of these 13 categories. And then we would assess our clients' MSLs on a 10-point scale relative to their primary competitors. And we found where our clients exceeded their primary competitors and where they fell short, and on which categories, and the level of importance of each of these categories. It was an excellent jump from the customer sat world, but we found, as is often the case with scientific research, that there were some aspects that were still lacking. We found data that wasn't totally consistent. So we did a little bit more research, and what we found is that there were need segments that various KOLs fell into. And what this means is that there were some categories, in spite of the fact that they may have been very important, that were simply not relevant to some of the KOLs. Now let me give you a very simplistic look at two categories. Let's assume that we've got customer knowledge, high relevance, low relevance. And we have up top, we have clinical trials, indicating the advocacy of the MSL on behalf of the KOL. Again, high relevance, low relevance. What you find is in the upper left-hand quadrant are those KOLs for whom both of these categories are extremely important. In the upper right, the category where a KOL is looking for maximum consultancy from the MSL, but clinical trials are not that important. And of course, lower left are those for whom clinical trials are key, but the consultancy is not quite that important. And what we found was that depending on where the KOL fell in, the ratings of our clients' MSLs as well as their primary MSLs were different. They related heavily to these need segments. It was a big jump up because what we've been able to do is help our clients predict what KOLs fall into which of these need segments a priori before the MSL gets sent out into the field. It helps our clients in terms of maximizing their budgets and managing their budgets, as well as their training programs for their MSLs. So it helps them both tactically as well as strategically. Now, I will be discussing this in far more detail next week at the Mass West Conference in San Diego. I hope to see you there. But before I go, let me tell you, this is not the end. We are still looking for one more big step. and that is the creation of KPIs. And we're working on that as we speak. So while that will be for a future discussion, I hope that I've given you some preliminary ideas about our medical affairs research as it exists right now. I look forward to seeing you in San Diego. Have a good day.